Good morning, people. This is the month of May. We're dealing with mental health awareness with men and with women. I have a special guest today. She's a life coach. I've seen some of her YouTube videos recently, along with some of her IG stuff, and she has a lot of good stuff to say. Something I do want to poke at today is something that she mentioned in her episode where her family almost ruined her. So today we have Ty Rakel here today with us. So welcome to the Unstuck Podcast. Ty Rakel, please tell us about yourself and let the fans know who you are.
Yes, thank you, Coach Drew, for doing this. This is so much needed in the community and the space. Like, people nowadays speak about mental health, but a lot of times they don't talk about it when they're in it. And that's something that I feel as though we all need to understand. We're all going through our different, I don't want to call them trials and tribulations, but more so times and elevation, because you can always grow, from what you was presented in front of you. So, hey, all, my name is Ty Rakel. I'm a certified life coach. My podcast, Live to Be Recognized, focuses on encouragement and confidence building from the internal. I shed light, as Drew says, on my family, but a lot of situations that I've went through, because I don't like talking about stuff if I haven't been through it. Also paired with a lot of research, a lot of background. And I'm just here to help people, lift their vibration and live in the highest, best vibration that they can for themselves. Because if we all do that, we'll be in a beautiful planet, I
love it. Now, what makes you so transparent while being in the middle of mental health stuff? We usually only hear about when they got out of it and they're selling a course, but what makes you transparent in the middle of it?
Honestly, for me, when I record my episodes or shed light on something, it feels like I'm taking pressure off of myself. Because as we know, when we keep things in our mind and we try to recalibrate, sometimes our mind is not our best friend.
Often not.
Right. And sometimes when you say things out loud, it doesn't sound as bad as it seems. And it seems like, okay, this is going to pass because you now put it out into the world. You're able to think a little bit more about it, and then you can maneuver from it. When you just keep it in your mind, whether you talk to yourself, someone else, a friend, a professional, you're able to realize, wait a second, I'm holding on to this for what? So what is this really doing for me?
I like that. I agree. Do you feel, even as a life coach, that people may struggle with that concept because it feels like you're being vulnerable while being in a vulnerable state? Do you feel people struggle with that?
Absolutely. No one wants to be judged.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Now with you being vulnerable, you teaching people to be vulnerable about the middle part of mental health, what have you found to be the biggest struggle?
Holding yourself accountable and not playing yourself.
What does that mean?
So I feel as though a lot of times we may, I'll use the term like little dog ourselves when it comes to stuff that's really bothering us or things.
Hold up.
What's up?
Little dog ourselves? I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, like you little dog yourself, like you play yourself, like what you're going through is not as noteworthy as you think it should be. So you're like, it'll be fine. Like I'm gonna get through it. It's okay. And then time has passed, months have passed, sometimes even years have passed, and you're like, wait a second. Nah, this is not healthy. This is not healthy at all. And so you're playing yourself in your mind thinking it's not that big of a deal, when it doesn't have to seem that ginormous of a deal. But if it's bothering you that much on a day-to-day, it is a problem.
I like the whole approach of little dogging yourself because it shows the person, well, I'm perceiving it as, it still shows the person, no, you're a big dog. When you do something like this, you're playing small, and here is the reason why. Now, as a Black woman, I've been raised by my mom. I've been around women all of my life, so I've seen Black women go through mental health trials, tribulations, periods, and seasons. do you feel it's harder for a Black woman to come to the table and be like, hey, I need to be vulnerable about this? Do you feel that's hard, and why, if you do?
Absolutely. I would say when it comes to, I'm a millennial, so I feel like when it comes to the millennial generation, we're the ones that have spoke up a little bit more when it comes to mental health and destigmatizing the attachment to it being crazy or something's wrong with you when
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. The whole, I
And
think the, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, no, finish what you were saying.
I think that stigma by itself makes you feel like you shouldn't be asking for help. Like you shouldn't be needing help, where that's the main thing we always need. I believe in every season of our lives, we're not supposed to be tackling life alone. So how did you do it as a millennial and as a black woman?
Yeah, I made my parents aware. I told my mom, I was like, listen, I'm going to start going to therapy because there's a lot of generational trauma that I'm not carrying. This stuff stops right here. These problems stop right here. The problems within the family, who has problems with this person and that person, how they see things, it stops right here. I don't have children yet, but when I do have children, I don't want them having that burden still on top of their life while they're trying to maneuver life.
Ooh. That's big. That's big. What did mom say?
At first, she was kind of like skeptical and stuff like that. But my older sister has been in therapy for a very long time. And so she saw it in a light that nothing's wrong with you. Like, I'm like, I need someone to talk to, someone that can give me sound advice that's not biased, that can see things from a different perspective. So that I said, therapy is for you to open up your mind. It's not, and it's for you to see whether you want to take the advice or not. It's up to you. And, it's not something that there's something wrong with me or you're getting the family business out there. No, that's why there's a therapist. They're confidential. And I tell anyone, if you have the means to do so, and there's also people that will do it pro bono, definitely, check out getting, a therapist or a counselor and just give it a year, give it 6 months and see what's up. I only went for a year and a half, and that was enough for me to get myself, back in action the way I wanted to be.
That's very deliberate and very intentional to realize, A, I don't want my kids facing what I faced, and I don't want to pass this on to them. But B, even being honest like this, hey, I may not be able to afford it for 4 years, but I'm gonna find some way, for a pro bono or something like that, to just, make this investment into myself. What do you feel is, like, we may know it now, you and I, but what do you feel is the difference with getting mental health issues solved from a life coach perspective and a therapist perspective?
I'm big on having both, because even though I am a certified life coach and I went to school for this, my master's is in sociology, we are taught to say, we are not counselors, we are not therapists. We are here to hold you accountable. Coaches hold you accountable. We help you stay on track. Now, when it comes to, mental health, mental awareness, diagnosis, that is where, a therapist comes in at, or a psychiatrist. But if you need someone to hold you accountable, keep you on track and keep you on tail, that is what a coach is for, regardless of what space that may be in: career, emotional, financial, family. Because, obviously there's coaching for everything. If you need someone to hold you accountable, get you a coach. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's a big thing. I'm a life coach also, so I always say I'm not your therapist. Like, we're not going into the past to dig up stuff. As life coaches, we want to hold you accountable and help you make the decisions that you need to make, which is a guide with that. Now, you made an episode about my family almost ruined me. I don't know if you went back and you checked the episode or not, but it's doing well, especially the shorts. So kudos to you for that. What made you come out and talk about these things?
Full transparency, one of my family members who I was extremely close to, who happens to be the daughter of my uncle who doesn't talk to me, we haven't seen each other in over a year, and we were like sisters. And I realized I didn't want to move forward in my life with that disconnect. And a lot of it is due to our parents, and we have nothing to do with that. We're this generation under them. And we went so many years being besties that, we allowed a small situation kind of mess that up. So I felt as though kind of like a call to action, because I had a feeling my family was going to listen to it. And I had a feeling that, they didn't listen to other episodes, but I knew they were going to listen to this one. And I wanted them to hear that basically what's going on, it doesn't make sense. And what's going on with love, we can triumph over that. But if you continuously let your egos play a factor, you're never going to be happy. And you're going to keep pointing the finger at the other person, because without saying too much, my mother and my uncle are, disconnected about a situation that they're both saying the same story. The story is the same. The perception is off.
Ooh.
Which is crazy.
Well, I mean, perception is someone's reality.
Correct.
Whether it be true or not.
Correct. But when they regurgitate the story to people, it's the same story. It's the same exact story. They're not adding in stuff or adding stuff in to make the other seem worse. It's the same story. It's just the perception on how they're viewing how each other plays a role in it is totally off. And when I presented that to them, they're like almost like children, like, no, it's not perception. This is facts. Yeah, what you're saying, it is facts. I'm not negating that, but how you're viewing it is making it way worse than what it is.
So how would you help them?
I try. And that's just how I feel right now, is I tried. You can't exhaust so much energy into something that you want to keep that thorn in you. That's on you. It's not my life anymore.
Do you feel that they're watching your life as if, so when I say this, I mean this in a way where they can be looking at your life like she's done what we wish we could have done, but we don't have the ability to make the first step?
I think they're so past that where their egos just want to hear one another say sorry and it will be over. But the ego won't allow them to say sorry to one another. That's the sick part about it.
I think that is the part where mental health comes into play, because 2 words could change years.
2 decades, Coach. 2 decades.
Why do you think it's so, if say you removed yourself from your family and you just saw them from outside? I'll give my perspective too. Why do you think saying I'm sorry is so hard?
Because they are both people that have a sense of control that they don't want to let go. And I feel like saying sorry loosens that control. But at the end of the day, sorry has nothing to do with control. Those two are 2 separate things. But that takes a different level of thinking. If you don't think like that on a different perspective, you're going to connect sorry to losing your control over a situation. When you actually get your control back when you say sorry.
I like that. Have you ever thought about this too? I'm pretty sure you probably have. Who didn't say I'm sorry to them that they can't replicate it?
I never thought about that, Drew. I really never thought about that. That's.
I say that because you almost can't replicate. It's not impossible, but it's extremely hard to replicate what you haven't seen. Or when you feel, well, we had the situation happen, but the people who were in it didn't say sorry to us. So us holding on to this, it's almost as if we feel that we're paying them back. But when you see in hindsight, you're actually hurting people who are coming up after you. This is why I'm congratulating you on saying,
thank you.
This has to stop here, or else I'm gonna have a mini me, which I hate when people say that. I'm gonna have a mini me who's going to follow the same cycle unknowingly, subconsciously, that I'm following. So you ever ask them who didn't say sorry to them?
I never did. And you know what? I am going to pose that question to my mother just to see, because I know I've apologized to her in situations, growing up as a child, adolescent, teenager, even young adult. But even from an adult perspective or your peers, someone from your own age group or older, have they done that step to you?
It usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't. When I see your mom is probably older than 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that generation, they have so much wisdom, so much experience but I think also sometimes emotionally, people who have hurt them who are still around them or at their level,
Mm-hmm.
and they just can't get that emotional breakthrough that could literally take all the relationships to the next level because somebody didn't say I'm sorry. So they feel they carry that guilt on that it was my fault, and they act that out subconsciously by emotionally withdrawing and emotionally not being available. Sometimes I'm not saying your mom isn't,
No,
but
that's deep. That's deep.
sometimes they aren't. Now, what would you as we are in the month of May and
Mm-hmm.
people are talking about mental health? How do people start walking towards better taking care of themselves mentally after this month is over? Because
I would,
mental health doesn't go
yeah.
away.
Right. For me, I realized if you want more control of your life, you need to concentrate on your mental health. It doesn't have to have an attachment to, like, some people think mental health has to be attached to a certain name, right? You have this, or you have that, or you have this, or you have that. No, we're humans. We all have mental health things that need to be taken care of, whether it has a
Yes.
label or not. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if you feel like you don't have control over your life, which a lot of us don't because we're like, we've got so much going on, whether you're working, you're a parent, family, whatever, you taking that time aside. And I'm big on meditation. I meditate every day. And meditation really gives you that outside perspective on, man, my mind is really all over the place. It's blah, 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 blah,
It sounds just like that too.
blah. And whether you really meditate or even if you just take 10 minutes of solstice to yourself, you'll figure out, okay, wait, I got to get some things in order. And
Mm-hmm.
that is how you get your mental life, in order. Taking time, taking that 10 minute, that 5 minute where it's just you to just kind of figure out why am I like, and sometimes that includes stop looking at certain things. Like I have where only 2 days during the week, I allow myself to watch and listen to anything,
I respect
meaning
that.
yeah, whatever's in social media, whatever's in, the current events, whatever, I only allow myself 2 days a week. Otherwise, everything has to be positive, something aligned to myself, and something that's going to help me grow. And that has helped the chaos in my mind as well.
I like it. I like it because you mentioned, which is really really wise. 5 to 10 minutes. Don't start off with trying to meditate for an hour.
No,
It's a
no.
book I read a long time ago. I agree with a lot of stuff in the book, and then a lot of stuff I didn't. I think the book was called Super Rich by he's one of the part of the Run DMC. Um, he
Rev
was
Run,
married.
did he write it?
No, his brother,
Russell?
Russell.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
The title was the title. It wasn't what the title was. It was just
mm-hmm.
talking about being super rich and inwardly. And he had mentioned if you can't sit down for 2 hours and 40 minutes a day, like something's wrong with you. And I was like, that's not true. And you're probably not sitting down 2 hours and 40 minutes a day.
And that's an affordable comfort. Some people don't have that
Affordable
affordable comfort.
comfort. Yeah, I was
you
like,
know?
so you mentioned start off with 5, 10 minutes a day, and then allow yourself to do that. What do you find as a life coach is something that you encourage people to go towards if they are resistant to meditation?
Yeah, so any client that books with me, actually, I incorporate that in our plan. Meditation, affirmations, and journals. That's no question asked. And I know everyone can't do that every day, so we do it for 4 days a week. That's something that I don't play
Nice.
with. I don't play with because I know what the results are going to bring. The greats don't talk about this for no reason. Anyone that is a master manifester, anyone that is, you look at them, they're like, wow, they created the life that they wanted. They're going to talk about these things. They talk about meditation, they talk about affirmation, and they journal. You don't know yourself if you're not writing anything down.
Yeah. What's a good journal prompt you give them or people
You
in general?
I know writing a saga is not for everybody. So you start off writing 3 wins for your day from the day before. Just write down 3 wins. It could be waking up. It could be, I got to be able to sit and eat breakfast with my child. It could be, I had time to actually, watch a show I wanted to watch. something that's a win for you. It don't have to be, because we wait for these big extravagant things. Oh, I bought a house, I got a car, I got this. No, you being able to do, check things off of your little goal list, that's a win.
I love it, because if you wait until those big wins, you don't realize those big wins don't come without small wins.
Exactly. Like, it's all stepping stones.
Yeah, you cannot, like, you don't want the big house and then mentally you're messed up and then you have to forfeit the house or you can't live in it because you're going crazy. So those small wins are just as important. So that's journaling. What about affirmations? Tell me about that.
So I'm big on affirmations. I call myself the affirmation queen. I say affirmations every day. At one point I was saying 40 a day, but then I had to break them up throughout the week because I'm like, this is taking up a lot of my time in the morning. Yeah. But what I learned what affirmations are, it's almost like instructions in your programming yourself, because you say it enough, even if they sound so out there in the beginning, you're going to start saying, wait, I'm saying I'm brave, but I'm not doing anything that's brave. How many more days am I going to tell myself, I am brave, and I ain't doing anything like that? So then eventually you start doing stuff that's brave to you.
I like it. Journaling, affirmations. What was your last one?
Meditation.
Okay, tell us about that.
I know meditation takes some time. I'm still in I would call myself like an intermediate to beginner meditator. I've been doing this for maybe about 2 years now. But you find what works for you. There's mindful meditations where they're speaking to you and saying, you are grateful, you are amazing, and I recommend that for my clients because a lot of times they don't even know what meditation is. So at least by you listening to that first thing in the morning when you wake up and you want those extra 5 minutes of sleep, go on YouTube, find something that says like focus meditation, whatever you're trying to accomplish in the day, gratitude meditation, abundance meditation, mindfulness, and you click a little 5-minute one. You get that extra little 5 minutes of rest you wanted in bed, but you're also programming yourself because your mind is in a state that is still receiving, besides you scrolling and stuff, at least you're programming yourself with some good energy.
I love it. Something that, I love it for, you're given tangible action items that they can take that are not overwhelming.
I'm all about that. Because you don't keep it.
If it's too much too far, you don't keep it. Something I do before I go study the Bible, when I wake up, as soon as I wake up, there's a scripture meditation that I have on YouTube. And literally, as soon as I wake up, I put that on. I start brushing my teeth and things like that so that my mind's starting to jog into the right direction. Now, you said you allow yourself 2 days a week to watch and hear what you want. What are the other days like?
A lot of like high vibrational music, like music with good words in it, that don't have the ratchet stuff.
Name a ratchet artist for us.
I can't because they're part of the culture. I ain't gonna disrespect our culture,
I respect.
Because I can't say nothing that on those days I'm jamming to. So, but I like whether that be gospel, whether it be people that are, because there's a lot of high vibrational artists that are coming out that are more woke with the content that they're singing or writing. So I listen to some of those artists as well. I'll watch podcasts that align to what I'm doing, or different people who are. I'm big on becoming, and I'm claiming it, a master manifester. So learning those tools and everything like that. So that's more so the vibe.
Much respect. So as we're coming to a close, these next questions have nothing to do with mental health. They're just rapid fire questions. You can answer them however you would like.
Sounds good.
All right. So first one, you had a chance. There was no limit of money. What kind of car would you drive?
Okay. I love old cars. So I would want a classic Hummer. I like the SUV. Yes. I drive a Trailhawk. So I love SUVs. So old school, Hummer, the D's up,
Yeah. I love Hummers. Have you seen the new ones?
Yes. Futuristic.
The old ones, it's a guy that lives right up the street from me. He has a purple and yellow Hummer.
Oh,
it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
So I like being a girly girl in them D'd up cars. Like, I just think it's so cool.
I love it. I love it. A second one would be if you could see anybody in concert, dead or alive, who would it be?
Wow. Burna Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burna
Why?
Boy. I love his melodies. I'm a big like Afrobeat fan. I don't know if it's the ancestors calling me back. Like, I'm just every Afrobeat artist is a hit to me. Like, I just love it, and I just love it. I love the sound. I love the instruments. But even when he talks about real stuff in his songs, and I love R&B, so he sings melodies. So it's just a combination that's just all good vibes for me.
I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. Favorite movie?
Oh, this is easy. Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, because it's deep. It's very deep. If you know, you know. It's basically telling us what we're living right now, but making people, be aliens so that people don't see color. But if you look at it from a different perspective, we're actually going through exactly what's in the Avatar movies. I've watched the first one over 8 times. I watched the new one that came out. I went by with my boyfriend and my peoples, and then I went by myself because I wanted to download it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you could move anywhere for 30 days, no limit on money, on resources, where would you move?
Accra, Ghana.
I like it. Why?
Yeah. Just because it's really bustling, and it's nice to be somewhere where you see people of your same hue doing the thing. And a lot of businesses are popping up there. And I would love to be in the epicenter seeing all of this come to life. I love seeing history as it's unfolding. So, yeah.
I love it. Now, last question is, what made you want to come on this podcast?
Because I see you doing your thing. Like, you're all on my timeline, and it's encouraged, and you give good vibes, and you support when I post things, and that's nice to see in the community, especially because sometimes people like, oh, they're coach too. I don't know, even though coaching, all of us need to come together. Some people see it as not a threat, or like clients, or what if you take from my clients? If you take from my clients, great. That you can help them in something that I can't help them with. You know what I mean? We all have different magic, so it's all good. It's all good.
I appreciate that. One of the main reasons why I was glad that you came on is because I want coaches to. I believe there's so much people in the world that every coach could blow up and still not help everybody in the world.
Yes,
there's so much, and like you said, different people are going to vibe with different people, different seasons, different ways. So why not help coaches actually spread their message more? As soon as we get into that whole competition, I mean, we have a scarcity mindset, and we're not about that life. So tell the people how they can find you. I'll make sure that we add your information in the show notes with your YouTube channel and stuff like that. But tell them, how can they find you if they want to come in and vibe on your page or ask questions and things like that? Tell them how they can find you.
Yeah, so I am on YouTube under Ty, Ty Rakel, Rakel. So it's Ty space Rakel, Rakel. It's my YouTube channel. That's where you can get a little bit more a feel about me, how I talk, how I conduct things, to see if you're interested in booking with me. And then from that, I do have, right now, I'm not accepting new clients, but I am doing what's called Vibe with Ty chats, where you can get a curated version of encouragement. You tell me what it is, and I get these downloads, and I'll just spit it fire to you, and you have it to view at any time. Also, thank you. Thank you. And then on Instagram, you can follow me at live, LIVE, number 2, letter B _. Same as for TikTok. I don't use TikTok like that. Instagram is what I'm mostly on. Once again, it's live, LIVE, number 2, letter B _. And it's called Live to Be because my podcast is called Live to Be Recognized. That's my brand. I actually have it tattooed on me. So
there you go. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, you heard it from her. I'm pretty sure we'll see some more for Ty. Thank you again for coming out today.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it.
Your day and your week is amazing. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.